$800 worth of microgreens sold in 1 week. Can you do it? I think you can. I literally just reopened my new farm from the basement of my house, and right away, I'm already doing $800 a week, actually more than $800 a week right off the bat. And in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I'm doing that. Hi, I'm Donny Greens, and I've been growing microgreens commercially for over 6 years now. I love what I do. I love serving my local community, and it's just overall so much fun to be growing these crops. And now I have the privilege of not only running my own business here in Huntington, New York, but I'm also teaching people all across the globe how to start their businesses, run their businesses, and generate a profitable income from their home growing microgreens. It's awesome. So let's jump right into it, and I want to start with the math. So let's break down the math first so you could really understand where this $800 comes from and how you can get there. All right, so first let's break it down by trays. Each one of these microgreens trays brings in between $20 and $30, say. Some can actually even do a little bit more than that, but let's just call it an even $25 per tray in revenue that you're gonna be bringing in. Now, that $800 a week in revenue, if that's your goal, and you're dividing it by $25 per tray, that leaves you with 32 trays of microgreens that you need to grow and sell each week to make that $800 a week. Now, what's really cool about these microgreens is because they grow so fast, they're actually on the grow rack for only a week. So every single week, you can turn over a new crop on those racks. So 20 trays fit on a rack, which means you're gonna need less than 2 racks, but you obviously need that second rack because you're not gonna build a half rack. So you're gonna need 2 racks to grow these 32 trays of microgreens per week, which is really not a lot of space. You could fit this in a spare bedroom in your house or really wherever. Throw it in your kitchen. When I first got started, I actually sectioned off like a 10 by 10 area in my parents' basement where my dad's drum set is, where it was, I moved it. And that's where I was able to fit 3 grow racks. These were my first 3 racks. I was actually able to grow $1,500 a week from that basement in just those 3 racks, because each rack holds 20 trays plus $25 per tray equals $500 per rack per week that you can make. So 3 racks is $1,500. So look, overall, what's important here is that in a very small amount of space, you can turn these crops over very quickly and actually make good profit margins. Speaking of that small space, you don't want to make the mistake I did in the beginning by spending too much money on the wrong supplies and equipment. What I recommend is breaking down your business into multiple different systems. You're gonna need a system for attaining customers. You're gonna need a system for growing the crops. You're gonna need a system for collecting payments. You're gonna need a system for fulfillment. Figure out what these systems are and figure out all the inputs that you're gonna need for these systems. But while you're doing this, keep it as lean and simple as possible. Don't go for the craziest and the best stuff. Keep it as simple as possible for you in the beginning when you're first getting started. This is really gonna help keep your costs down, and in the beginning, it's most important. You can always get fancier over time, so make sure to keep it real simple in the beginning. When I was first starting, I was buying bad trays, terrible soil, mediocre seeds, a bunch of stuff that was breaking, stuff that I didn't end up using long term. Now, this ended up costing me about $4,000 to really get started with this microgreens business, and that really could have cost me somewhere closer to probably $1,000. So you wanna be real lean in the beginning because you wanna be able to make your money back on your investments and get to managing your cash flow as soon as possible. So if you take a big plunge, buy a bunch of stuff in the beginning that you don't actually need or that you're not gonna be using right away, you're just gonna be shooting yourself in the foot because you wanna start off lean and then grow as you go. Not to mention, this whole business is scalable. So you can start with 1 rack, and then as you grow your business and you need another rack, buy another rack. But long story short, be sure to buy the right supplies, seeds, and equipment from the start. That way you're not buying stuff that you don't want to end up using long term. And by the way, I have a video on this. I'll link it above. That way you can check that out. It's all about the supplies and seeds and equipment you should use when getting started. I include all of my favorite stuff. All right, customers, you're probably thinking at this point, okay, dude, I understand this stuff. I understand the cost side of things. I understand the money. I understand where it's coming in, where it's going out. Now, how do I get these customers? Who am I selling to and how do I get them? What I did in the beginning when I was first getting started, and by the way, there was a lot less information about microgreens at that point, was I realized I didn't really want to be working with chefs, and I really liked the health benefits of these crops. I wanted to sell to health conscious consumers. So what I did is I found local farmers markets and I started there. I went to all the farmers markets. At one point I was even doing 3 farmers markets, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but I was focusing on farmers markets, and there's a reason for this. Farmers markets are a great place to start for 3 main reasons. 1, the buyers at a farmer's farmer's market are looking for your exact type of product. They're at a farmer's market, right? So they're looking for farm type products, craft type products, really hyper local stuff. So you're in the right place for that type of customer to be coming in and buying your crops. Second, they're local. They're nearby. They're not traveling long distances to come to a farmer's market. So if they're at that farmer's market and they're not visiting a friend or family, then that means they live nearby, which also means if you're pretty close to that farmer's market, your farm, that means that they're close to your farm and your location. These are local customers, which is exactly what you want to be finding. Because overall, in my opinion, you definitely want to start a weekly subscription service. This allows you to know how much to grow each week. It allows consistent revenue and all that good stuff. I'll make another video specifically on this exact model that I kind of pioneered for the industry, but being local is important. These are customers that you can convert into weekly home subscription customers. Third is the fact that you're there in real time, trying different things and getting different interactions and feedback from these real-time customers. So you get to try different packaging, try different prices, see what people like, what they don't like, what they're looking for. This is all happening in real time and allowing you to get a lot of practice very quickly, because not only are you trying out these different products, you're also learning how to talk about the products and teach people how to use them, while also, of course, collecting their emails. That way you can contact them, you're building your list, you can contact them, and then get customers on a weekly basis. So like I mentioned before, at my peak, I was doing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday markets. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it because it was in the very beginning. I was putting in the work early to get my business up and off the ground, to allow people to know about me and my business. And these farmers markets are what laid the foundation that allowed my business to grow over the next few years. So the farmers markets are a great place to start because of all those reasons I mentioned before. And then after you build a solid route of customers, you can even let word of mouth spread, which works very well for your company. Everybody knows a local person that is also into health like them. So don't be afraid to ask your customers for referrals and ask, if there's anybody that they know who would like your stuff. And really, don't be afraid to ask anybody for referrals. You should feel good about running this business. You shouldn't feel weird about making money. You should be feeling amazing because you get to now earn a living supporting your local community and improving the health of your customers. There's a lot to learn about getting customers, microgreens marketing, social media, and all that. So I'll save that for another video. That way we can really focus in on it. So there you have it. By doing these simple things, you can actually earn $800 a week growing microgreens from your own home, and it could happen really fast, rather easily, and requiring not much space or money at all. So if you're serious about growing microgreens and you haven't started yet, I highly recommend joining the One Tray Away Challenge. It's my best program right now, where I basically teach you how to become a master grower in only 10 days. So all those growing pains, growing pains, from learning how to grow these crops correctly, I'm gonna basically fast track you through that, hold your hand through the process, show you exactly what to do every day and also what not to do. So be sure to check out that challenge. I'm challenging you right now to the One Tray Away Challenge. You can find that at onetrayaway.com, and I'll also include a link down below in the description. I'll see you there.